Elliot Anderson, this is his 35th consecutive Premier League start this afternoon. And when you look at his numbers, Jamie, you can see why he's ever present.
Yes, and we're talking about now one of the best midfield players in the Premier League. We were told about Elliot Anderson, it feels like for years at Newcastle, that they had someone really special coming through. And obviously we know the PSR issues that the club meant Nottingham Forest have acquired him. And when you look at that, and you think of the England team as well, which is where he'll be going next week, we all used to have this debate, is Jude Bellingham a number 10 or a central midfield player? He has to be a number 10 now, because Elliot Anderson has got that role alongside Declan Rice, and you can see exactly why from this chart.
Yeah, so this is central midfielders, and we've selected different ones in the Premier League, and the graph shows two things. So the higher up you are on this graph is how much possession you've won. And if you're further over here, that's line-breaking passes. So how many good forward passes you've made. So the idea being, to be the complete midfielder, you want to be up here.
Yes.
And that's exactly where he is.
And if he plays any better, he might be off the chart.
Yeah. I don't think I can reach on that.
Yeah. I mean, listen, we've got some absolutely sensational midfield players in the Premier League now from all over the world. But when you actually look at those numbers, that's absolutely fantastic. And no disrespect to Nottingham Forest, but when you actually think of the teams and possession-wise as well, how many chances they'd have, these midfield players, maybe to play those line-breaking passes. He'd probably have more opportunity with a team who was a little bit more possession-based as well. So, as I said, that...
Manchester United are reportedly preparing for a major transfer battle as they look to strengthen their midfield ahead of the upcoming season. The Red Devils are said to be ready to compete directly with their city rivals, Manchester City, for a highly rated £75 million star, who could become the perfect long-term replacement for Casemiro. With the Brazilian midfielder approaching the latter stages of his career, the club is determined to secure a successor capable of maintaining control and dominance in the middle of the park. The situation surrounding Casemiro has become an increasingly important talking point within the club. While the experienced midfielder has been instrumental since his arrival at Old Trafford, concerns about age, fitness, and long-term sustainability have prompted Manchester United to begin planning for the future. As a result, the club's recruitment team has started identifying elite midfielders capable of stepping into the demanding role. Manchester United's interest in the £75 million rated star reflects the club's commitment to rebuilding a squad capable of challenging for major honours. The midfielder in question has been attracting attention from several top European clubs, but United are believed to be particularly determined to secure his signature as part of their long-term project. What makes the situation even more intriguing is the involvement of Manchester City. Pep Guardiola's side are also reportedly monitoring the same player, seeing him as a potential addition who could strengthen their already formidable midfield. This sets the stage for an intense rivalry not just on the pitch, but also in the transfer market. The idea of both Manchester clubs battling for the same player highlights the growing competition between the two sides in recent years. Manchester City have dominated English football in recent seasons, while Manchester United are eager to close the gap and return to the summit of the Premier League. For Manchester United, securing the right replacement for Casemiro is crucial. The Brazilian has provided leadership, defensive stability, and experience since arriving from Real Madrid. However, the club recognizes that they must prepare for the future and ensure continuity in one of the most important positions on the pitch. The £75 million star being targeted is widely regarded as one of the most promising midfielders in Europe. His ability to control the tempo of matches, break up opposition attacks, and distribute the ball effectively has made him a standout performer in his current league. Scouts from Manchester United have reportedly been monitoring the player for several months. The club's recruitment department believes he possesses the technical quality, tactical awareness, and physical strength required to thrive in the Premier League. Manchester City's interest in the player adds another layer of complexity to the transfer saga. Guardiola has built a team that thrives on intelligent midfield play, and the addition of another technically gifted player would further enhance City's dominance. The rivalry between the two Manchester clubs means that every transfer battle carries extra significance. Winning the race for such a highly rated player would not only strengthen one squad but also deny the other a valuable asset. Manchester United's midfield has undergone several changes in recent years. While players such as Bruno Fernandes have become key figures, the team still relies heavily on Casemiro for defensive stability. As the Brazilian continues to age, the club's leadership is aware that a succession plan must be implemented sooner rather than later. Signing a younger midfielder capable of developing into a world-class performer is therefore seen as a priority. The £75 million valuation reflects the player's rising status in European football. Clubs across the continent have been impressed by his performances, and his current team is expected to demand a substantial fee. Manchester United's willingness to enter such an expensive race demonstrates their determination to rebuild the squad. The club's hierarchy understands that investing in quality players is essential if they are to compete with the best teams in England and Europe. The targeted midfielder is known for his composure under pressure. Even in high-stakes matches, he has consistently shown the ability to dictate play and maintain control in the center of the pitch. This calmness on the ball is one of the qualities that Manchester United believe would make him an ideal successor to Casemiro. The Brazilian has long been admired for his ability to shield the defense while also contributing to the team's build-up play. Manchester City, however, are not expected to step aside easily. Guardiola has often shown a willingness to invest heavily in midfielders who fit his tactical philosophy. City's scouting network has also been following the player's development closely. The club believes his style of play could adapt perfectly to their possession-based system. For Manchester United, the potential signing would represent more than just a replacement for Casemiro. It would symbolize a broader shift toward building a younger and more dynamic squad. The club has faced criticism in the past for failing to plan effectively for the future. By targeting a young and highly talented midfielder, they hope to demonstrate a more strategic approach to recruitment. Supporters are already excited about the possibility of the £75 million star arriving at Old Trafford. Many fans believe that strengthening the midfield is essential if the team is to compete consistently at the highest level. Casemiro's influence on the team has been undeniable since he joined Manchester United. His experience, leadership, and defensive abilities have helped stabilize the midfield during difficult periods. However, football is constantly evolving, and even the most influential players eventually need to be replaced. Recognizing this reality is part of building a successful long-term strategy. The targeted midfielder has been praised for his versatility. In addition to his defensive duties, he is capable of contributing offensively by initiating attacks and delivering precise passes. This versatility is particularly appealing to Manchester United's coaching staff. Modern midfielders are expected to perform multiple roles, and the player's skill set aligns with those expectations. Manchester City's interest also reflects the player's exceptional reputation. Guardiola rarely targets players unless he believes they possess the intelligence and technical ability required for his system. The potential transfer battle could become one of the most talked about stories of the upcoming transfer window. Both clubs have the financial resources and ambition to secure the deal. Manchester United's management is reportedly prepared to make a strong offer if the opportunity arises. They believe that investing £75 million in the right player could prove to be a worthwhile long-term decision. The player's current club is aware of the growing interest from Premier League giants. As a result, they are expected to hold firm on their valuation and resist any attempts to negotiate a lower fee. Such a stance could lead to an intense bidding war between Manchester United and Manchester City. Transfer battles between major clubs often drive prices even higher. For Manchester United, winning the race would send a powerful message to their rivals. It would show that the club remains capable of attracting some of the best talents in world football. The Red Devils have been working hard to rebuild their reputation as a destination for elite players. Securing the signature of a £75 million star would reinforce that ambition. Manchester City, meanwhile, continue to set the standard for success in English football. Their dominance has forced rivals like Manchester United to rethink their recruitment strategies. The competition between the two clubs extends far beyond the pitch. Transfer market battles have become another arena in which the rivalry plays out. The player himself is believed to be aware of the interest from both sides. Such attention from two of the biggest clubs in England could present a difficult decision. Joining Manchester United would offer the opportunity to become a central figure in a rebuilding project. The club is eager to restore its status as a consistent title contender. On the other hand, signing for Manchester City could provide the chance to compete immediately for major trophies. Guardiola's team has established itself as one of the strongest in Europe. The decision could ultimately depend on the player's personal ambitions and preferred style of play. Both clubs offer different pathways to success. Manchester United's coaching staff believe the midfielder has the potential to develop into one of the best players in his position. Their confidence in his abilities has been reinforced by extensive scouting reports. These reports highlight his defensive intelligence, passing accuracy, and ability to read the game. Such attributes are essential for any player expected to replace someone as influential as Casemiro. The Brazilian midfielder has set a high standard since arriving in the Premier League. Replacing him will not be an easy task, but Manchester United believe the £75 million star has the necessary qualities. The club's supporters have been calling for strategic signings that address key weaknesses in the squad. Strengthening the defensive midfield position is seen as one of the most important priorities. Manchester United's recruitment strategy has evolved significantly in recent years. Greater emphasis is now being placed on long-term planning rather than short-term solutions. The pursuit of a young and highly talented midfielder reflects this new approach. The club hopes that investing in potential will yield significant rewards in the future. Manchester City's involvement ensures that the race will remain highly competitive. Guardiola's reputation and the club's recent success make them an attractive destination for many players. However, Manchester United are determined not to be overshadowed by their rivals. The club believes it still possesses the history, prestige, and global appeal to attract top talent. As the transfer window approaches, speculation surrounding the £75 million star is likely to intensify. Fans and analysts alike will be watching closely to see which club ultimately secures his signature. If Manchester United succeed in completing the deal, it could mark a significant step in their ongoing rebuild. The arrival of a dynamic new midfielder could help reshape the team's identity. Replacing a player like Casemiro is never straightforward, yet football clubs must constantly evolve, and identifying the right successor is part of maintaining competitiveness. The coming months could therefore prove decisive for Manchester United's future midfield structure. Their willingness to challenge Manchester City for the £75 million star demonstrates a renewed sense of ambition. Whether the move ultimately materializes remains to be seen, but the message is clear. Manchester United are prepared to fight for top talent, as they aim to reclaim their place among the elite of English and European football.